on the planet and go,
Right.
you're both dogs. All right.
Right.
You're never going to be a Chihuahua.
Okay,
You're
well,
never
I'm
going to be a
so
Saint Bernard.
excited.
But then we
Welcome
look at
back to the
humans and
Bubbly
we're like one
Babble. It is
size, one
officially
color.
2026,
I love
Crazy.
that.
and it is go time. So here I'm bringing to you the second half of the conversation that I had with my mom, Terry, and today we're going to learn a little bit more about her and kind of
My
where she
babble
comes
buddy for the
from.
day is a
And this is
woman that
going
I
to be a
have
really great
literally
basis
grown up
for where we're going to
alongside.
go moving
She
forward
describes
from
herself
here. So we
as an
have some
evolving
really
woman,
good laughs.
which
I'm
I
so
love. She
excited
is
for
a
you to be
wife,
on
a
this journey
mother,
with
a
us.
daughter, and a
Thank
friend.
you, of course,
She
to
is
my
a writer
mom
and a
for being
storyteller and a
open
poet.
and
She is the
vulnerable.
host of the Coolest People
And
Podcast. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
you know, we're
Please
just trying
welcome
to
to the
figure it out.
bubble,
We're just trying to
Crystal
figure
J.
out our relationship, and
Daly.
we're just
I
trying to,
love it. To
who
the
knows, right? Maybe
bubble.
that'll help somebody else someday.
I'm so
So
happy
I'm
to
so
be
glad you're
here.
here.
Yay. Thank you so much
And
for coming.
without further ado,
I'll
this
just
is
say that you have been a
part
person that I
2
have I've known
of
since I
Terry
was
and
very small.
Sherry.
We did daisies together, I think is
Yep.
what that blue vest was. And we played softball together and cheer and drill team and all the things. And I have watched
But
you
like there are
live
moments
life
that
in a
I've been
really beautiful
really
way
harmed
out loud, which
by
is really
some
scary
of
to do.
the things that hurt you
And
growing up.
I'm just so
Like if
proud
we
of
look
you.
at
I'm so
my
proud to know
relationship
you
with my
and
body,
to have you as a friend, no matter how
you really
time
thought you were
goes.
doing the best for me,
And I'm
right?
so
You make me so
excited.
emotional.
I
You make me so
What?
emotional when you talk about me because I just don't see
What?
myself
If
the
you
way
wanted
you do.
that
I
You
do,
do.
but I don't. But it's just so weird when you've known someone your whole life, you know?
Yeah, but that's part
Right,
of it, right?
right.
Like that's part of why I want to
And
have these conversations
but I mean, it
because
started very young. So
um
like
I think that it's easy for people to lose
in
sight
different
of
ways,
the
somebody
magic that
shattered
they
your
have
window,
in
right? Like you're
this
the glass.
kind of
Somebody
shadowy
shattered your
world,
window, and
you
then you have
know?
a baby,
Right.
You know?
and you're like, this
I'm
baby
already
is gonna
emotional. You
like,
already made me
maybe
cry.
put
Like
me
we
back
haven't even talked about
together,
anything. I'm
and
nervous.
better.
Oh,
You stop
don't
really
be
sharp
nervous.
edges.
No, literally. I know your
Oh,
history, but
No,
for
but
my
I mean, like
listeners,
you still had a lot of
kind of what's
Yeah.
your history and
hurts
relationship
that
with
you
living
know
a
were
public life
open
and what was
wounds.
that
You
It's
about?
weird.
continue to have open
It's
wounds
weird,
from
and it's weird to answer that question
years ago.
now. Like in retrospect, I always say
You know, and
they
so
didn't prepare me for the day like my kids and their
when
friends
I
could
sometimes
Google
when I
me.
have these conversations with you,
Whoa.
And
I
thankfully,
used to
like pretty
be
much everything
very
that I put
angry.
out is some
I
sort of
know.
like
Yeah,
empowerment
but you never.
something. But like,
Well, you're
I
not.
grew
And
up on the
sometimes I
internet,
just
and I've
take
been saying
people
that lately.
what
Like,
they are, but
I'll
as long
be
as you
38
knew and
next
you
month,
knew
and I started out.
that
I
I
mean, we're
loved you,
millennials,
there
right?
was
Like
no
we
reason
we
for you
made
to
the
be
internet.
angry
We
at
are
me.
the only generation that
Oh,
we were in the middle of our
love
childhood
doesn't
and our
excuse
in our
wrongdoing.
adolescent years. Like we were
I don't
just
think I ever
becoming.
did you
So
wrong
I got pregnant
intentionally
my
either. But
junior-ish
that,
senior year. So I
we've
don't know
said
what year it
before,
was,
if
but
you hit me with a
one of
car,
the years I ended up pregnant
does
with
it
my
matter
oldest
whether or not
after
you
I
meant
had my
to?
daughter. Like I'm gonna lose this weight once and for
No,
all,
but
and like I'm gonna be a
I
healthy
mean,
mom, and I'm gonna do all these things.
it just, you're sitting
And
here
so I
telling
joined
me
Weight
that
Watchers
a
at the
lot of this
time, and
comes
I
from
started
my childhood
sharing, and
that I
I
don't
was
even
just sharing
realize.
like my truths.
And
So I was just
you
sharing what
are
I was thinking about, what
angry
I was going through. I was
for
a new
me
mom, and I
reacting
was on this
to
diet plan that
all
I
these
knew
years.
well. Like
Well,
it
I'm not
wasn't the
angry
first time;
now.
it just
Oh.
was the
I
time that I
have been
was felt this
angry, yeah.
why that was
But I've
bigger
had
than
to do a lot
myself.
of
I
work
wanted to be a healthy
as
mom. One thing led
well.
to another,
I've had to
and
work
started
through a
this
lot of things,
blog
and
of
I'm
Skinny
sure
Jeans
I
Dreams,
haven't worked
and
through all
that's what it
of
was.
them.
It was my Skinny
But I
Jeans
mean,
Dreams, and at the time it was
sometimes when
like the
we're
thick
having these
of diet
conversations, like we
culture,
had a
you
talk
know, and millennial
recently,
kids who grew up in the
where
90s
you
with weight
said,
problems
that
had the
you moved in
internet,
with
you
your
know,
mom
and
because you
so
were
people
afraid she was
connected, and I
going
was just
to
very authentic, very
drink
me, and
herself to death.
people, they just
Originally,
liked
and
what I
she
had to
was.
say
Right.
and like
And
had a
so,
life of its own, still has
that's
a life
not
of its own.
something
People who liked
that's
my
right. So
Facebook
that's not
page from
something.
around the world wanted Skinny Jeans Dreams merch.
What do you think it was about you
I
and
I
your
didn't
relationship with your
I
body
wasn't
and
old
that
enough
spoke to
to
people?
have
I
these
was young.
realizations
I've always been told I'm like a
till
old
now,
soul, like I'm
till
wise beyond my
I'm old
years,
enough, and
whatever. So
so
I definitely connected to
especially when you're
women
young, which I
older
mean,
than me. Like a lot
this
of my
thing,
friends at
man,
the
if we
time,
could
a
get
lot of
mom in
people who
this third
followed
chair,
were
like
women who were
half
maybe
of this
like
probably comes
my
from her
mom's
mom.
age or a little bit younger, some even older,
I couldn't
some
have
that could
known
be my
growing
grandmother
up
that still to this day follow me.
the
But I
circumstances
think
with which
because
you were made.
we all have more or less the
You know,
same
like if
struggles.
you
It
have
just
kind
wears
of a broken
different,
mold.
different
Well,
outfits,
people
different
don't think
faces.
about that when they're
But
meeting people or
of
course growing up with people. Like
I was a new mom. I was really
you know,
authentic
I
about that.
remember
I'm very
on the Oprah
emotional.
show
I know how to
blaming the
communicate. I
parents
know
for
how to
everything, and
write.
my first
Yeah.
thought
So
was,
like, and
that's how we were
honestly, like,
raised. So I guess I
it was
did
a
see
friend to me.
something
Like
just
these
not
people
as
were
deep. I
friends
didn't
to
think
me.
as
So
deep.
it
I'm
would
like,
just became this
but
thing
they were
where
raised like
I
that, so that's
often
why they're
look back
passing
and
it down
regret.
saying I love
Not
it.
regret,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not the word.
Right.
It's just a
My
lot
mother
to
never said
digest
it
when I
probably.
look at my
Which
like
is why you
digital
say it so
footprint,
much.
so to speak. and how much I've shared of myself, how much I've shared of my family, especially in the age we're living in now, you know. But I can also look back and see like there were women that were holding on by a thread that were coming to skinny jeans dreams to just feel seen. So like, and I still have people like say, I've had people tell me they read my Facebook posts in recovery groups that they leave because just the vulnerability of what I've shared.
I love.
I struggle now to make the same connection. So it's a different world than it was then.
You said that it's kind of started with doing Weight Watchers. So what has been your relationship like with your body, with your body image?
I mean, I'm a child of the late 80s, right? I grew up in the 90s. I was overweight by 5, so like overweight in the 90s and 2000s.
When is like the first time you remember, like your first memory of being like, my body is bigger than
Why are you so defensive?
Probably around like 3rd or 4th grade, I really started to like notice. I know when I say I was overweight by the time I was 5, I know that through pictures, I know that through stories. You know, like there's certain memories that sometimes you don't know if they're like your memory or the story you heard, but there's always like this story that lingers about how like when I was younger and we would go to birthday parties at McDonald's, that I was always like the first at the table and the last to leave. So there's like commentary that I don't know if it's like I remember being that or that's the story that was told that I, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember like the first time that you felt it?
The first time I remember like my earliest memory of someone pointing it out was when I was in 4th grade and someone pointed out my cellulite.
Wow.
I can look at it now for what it was because like obviously his mom struggled with it or some woman in his life. I could still picture it. I could still smell it. Like it had such an impact on me. And it's funny now, like it doesn't, you know, like it's just a story I tell, but like it did for a long time. But I had like a boyfriend at the time and I remember this kid being like, basically like, what do you do with all that cottage cheese or something?
Wow.
And I was like, and I don't even know. I mean, maybe I had heard cottage cheese, probably. I mean, my mom, you know, had her own woes with body image, but that's probably the first time I remember being like, damn, like you see it too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So over time, you did Weight Watchers, you did Beachbody. At one point, you found yourself on stages, plural, for your work with Beachbody. Did you win?
Somebody that was on my team, somebody that I coached was won the Beachbody challenge.
And so
they don't do that anymore. They stopped doing that years ago, but they used to give away $100,000. So I won the Weight Watchers challenge for my transformation.
I didn't know that.
I was just talking about it last night to my mother-in-law, and I was showing her picture, and she was like, I don't even remember you looking like this. Like, I had long hair, I had a perm, I was like really skinny, and it was the Lose for Good challenge, and we had to like make these signs of like why we were losing weight, and you know why it was going to be for good this time, and you know all the things.
Yeah.
So like there was a lot of like, I don't want to call it fame because that's like a weird word to use, but like a lot of like, you know, I won that was 1 of 3 in a national challenge. I was in these communities that led to Beachbody, right? So like there was a lot of hype around what was happening, and I was prior to Beachbody, I was like, man, if I could get paid for everybody that signed up for Weight Watchers because of me, and I'm losing weight and I'm getting strong and doing all these things, you know, it was a logical next right step. I was already trying to work from home, trying to be with my kid, you know, and they're telling me I could be a gazillionaire, you know, set up my kid for life. Like, it made sense, and I was good at it. I was good at people, I was good at sales, I was good at fitness, I was good at publicity, you know, I was good at gathering. So when it came to like, we used to host a thing called like Super Saturdays. Like, we started in a library, and then we were eventually taking over the casino in Philly, and like had 800 people, and the CEO's dad coming to our events that I was on the council for planning. So like, I just applied all my skills and all my passion, all my heart to what I was doing, and met some really amazing women from around the world. But I look back now and like, I'm thankful for the experience, I'm thankful for the friends, I'm thankful I could sit here and tell the story, but there's also like a lot of ick that comes with it. That I've moved through quite a bit of it. I used to not be able to like stomach a Beachbody program just because I had so much ick. Also, I mean, you're dealing with women. I was leading 200 women in the US and Canada that were like bought into my story, that trusted me with their journey. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of different ways, a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly.
Yeah. How much of a focus was weight loss or your body size in your life that led to this? Like, obviously you were going to be successful at anything you did, right? But like,
yeah, 100%. So like, Weight Watchers it wasn't the first time I was on Weight Watchers.
What's the first time you remember?
So oddly enough, my dad passed when I was 21. And over the years, I've been getting, my stepmom, his wife, has been just like slowly giving me his stuff. And she recently sold the house that they lived in. So it's been 16 years. And gave me like the rest of his stuff. And one of the last pieces was a cigar box with like cards, birthday cards and different things in it. And also in this box were all the receipts from the year 2000 for Crystal's Weight Watchers meetings.
So 7th grade, 7th, 8th grade. How do you feel about that as a
mom? I got a different set of cards with my kids, so it's always been like my mom struggled with her weight. I know that like my parents, you know, they loved me, right? They wanted what was best for me. They didn't want me to feel whatever. I understand, right? It's just, it's such a complicated thing. Like, would I have done the same thing? What would I do now? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, you can't change it.
My kids got their father's genetics, but you know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question because it's so like you can't change it. Exactly, it just was. I will say finding those receipts were like I guess, like, you know, they were seen as if like a financial responsibility, like make sure you know, like hold this in a secret compartment where you make sure that you keep the receipts that you paid for your daughter's diet type of thing. That I was like, it did not make me feel good.
I get that. Yeah.
Even with these birthday cards that I should feel good about, but
yeah, that's something to unpack.
I'll be unpacking.
I'll be unpacking.
My goodness.
So what do you remember, like, from those Weight Watchers meetings, which my mom was trying to tell me? I was explaining to her that by the time I was my son's age, which is now 9, I knew that my body was bigger. I knew that it was a problem. And she said, no, that's not possible, because my dad came in and said, oh, boy, you're getting chunky. And I was like, hey, we don't talk like that in my house. So, oh, I didn't mean it anything by it. I said, that's fine, but we don't talk like that in my house. Yeah. And my mom was like, well, he didn't mean anything by it. I said, when I was in the 7th grade, you got me a personal trainer to change my body. She goes, I don't remember that. I said, okay. Well, it was at Summers Point Fitness on the corner of Route 9 and Great Bay Country Club. And
you can't even drive by now without thinking about it.
I can't even drive by without thinking about it. And I'm 38 years old. Absolutely. I said, and I got a free t-shirt and it was yellow and the guy had a ponytail. Core memory. And she went, oh, right. Like I know that our parents did the best for us. Yeah, right. That's what they thought was for us. And I mean, if we're being really honest, those problems stemmed from them as well. You know, like they dealt with it. So now we deal with it.
It was just the cards I was dealt.
Yeah. Congratulations. Your life is harder now because you're not accepted in the body you're born in. It's crazy. You know, I feel so lucky because I have 2 kids. One has my genes and one has my husband's. I get to do like a science experiment, I guess, where I get to let my kid be him, and we'll see where it lands. You know, because that's the funny thing they say about intentional weight loss is that, I don't know if you ever read Health at Every Size by Lindo Bacon, but it talks about weight set points and how every time you practice intentional weight cycling or yo-yoing or whatever we call it, your body sets it higher. So like everybody says, oh, well, they're just going to gain the weight back. Well, because your body intentionally slows down your metabolism. So it's a little healing for me. It's not that I'm excited, but it is healing for me to watch my son, you know, like boys do, chunk up, thin out, chunk up, thin out. Yeah. And like at no point, like I see that his body is soft like mine. And that becomes like a really weird playground. That becomes like an obstacle course of like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel that he's 9 years old and in the size 14 pants? And like, they're just clothes. Do they matter? And like the crassest way that I know how to say this, I don't know, but like, I think it's very strange that we look at St. Bernards and Chihuahuas that both exist on the planet and go, you're both dogs. All right, you're never going to be a Chihuahua, you're never going to be a St. Bernard. Yeah. But then we look at humans, and we're like one size, one color, one eye color.
I think it's like really powerful to just, I mean, even though my kids, you know, my son's very athletic, so he's just go, nonstop. Like he drinks a protein shake and eats a peanut butter and jelly and calls it a day. Like he's just, I don't know. If you meet my son, you'll understand. I call him a free range chicken. He's all wild, prepubescent boy, like love him to death. Got my kid, the pictures right here, so I'm like looking at both of them. My daughter is like very, very petite. She's always been petite. But I still have to mind with both of them, like how I talk about myself or food or my body or anything. Like, you know,
And it was
my
like,
daughter
well,
recently, like she
this is what
loves
we're doing
sugar
now.
like any
I don't think
kid.
that I would have
And
chosen to have him when I did. Of course I could
she
have.
loves the
Yeah.
junk
I
food like
think
any
that
kid, but she's also like
you had a
15
lot
and
of
she
unmet
cares about her
expectations
skin. She cares about the way she
in
feels. She has a
motherhood.
lot of
I
work on her
think we
plate, so she
always
notices
had
when she feels tired, you know. So she's saying like we
bigger
went to Europe this
expectations
summer,
than we
and
get.
like at the end
I
of it,
think
she's
that
like, "Mommy, I
that's
just want to
part
eat
of
clean."
most
Like,
Maybe.
and
people's
it
life.
wasn't, you know,
I
eat
Unless you
clean is like such a
firmly
buzzword from like diet
chalk
culture,
board
but
your
that's not
life
where it's
out.
coming
And I'm
from
just,
for
I'm gonna
her.
do this. Okay,
But
I'm
like
done.
she's like, "Mommy, I
I'm
just
gonna
want
do
to eat
this.
clean.
Okay,
Like I
I'm
just want to
done.
feel good."
I
And I'm
think
like,
at some
"Okay."
point
And in
you
my head,
taught
I'm like,
yourself
I
that
have the
you
tools for
deserve
that,
the
you
shitty
know,
end.
like,
Yeah.
but it's
I
definitely
need to.
interesting. And I don't think there's
You
one
did.
I just
way.
don't
Like
know
I
why I
remember
keep
Shalene
falling
John
into
saying
it.
years
Did you
ago,
choose
like
it?
the way
No,
you
I
talk
don't
about your
Subconsciously
kid's
you
body
choose
to
it?
your
I
kids is
don't
you don't.
understand
I
how that
love
can
that.
happen.
I love
But I mean,
that
really, like, I
because
think
we
that
didn't
you
get that.
continue to operate out of
You know,
Right.
we
survival
didn't.
mode.
I
You're very
constantly,
quick
like,
to
I was always
panic.
told, butt
You
and
were
gut.
very
You got
quick to
butt
get
and gut.
upset.
Wow.
Your
Yeah, mine was always in
disposition
the hip.
is
I was
stress.
always told
Yeah, I'm a little
your
better
life is
about
on the
it.
Oh,
other
look,
side
you
of
are
that
a
weight
little bit
loss.
better.
Yes.
But
Right.
your
It's not, but
disposition is
yes.
stress.
Right.
When we
But
were
like I
at
was
Urban
watching
Air and
that
they lost the
documentary
keys,
on
you
Netflix
like could
about the
not put
Biggest
those things
Loser,
down.
and
So
one of
we
the
lost the
girls
keys to the ball
she
pit.
tries on a wedding
Oh
dress.
yeah,
There was a clip of her
I
trying
take
on
care
her
of
wedding
things.
dress and it doesn't go
It's not
past
your
her
job.
knees, and she
But I would want
says,
somebody
"I
to
can't get
help
married
me.
unless I'm 130
Right.
pounds."
And
Right?
everybody
And
thought
it's
it's
like
not
it
my
breaks
job. It
my
wouldn't be me
heart
carrying
because
the
Yeah.
why?
Listen, I
Right.
agree with
Right.
that.
Exactly.
I
Why?
do agree with that.
Why?
I
And
don't
so
understand
it
people
brings up
who
the
operate from a
conversation
place of
of,
greed.
people
I
feel
don't
as though they are
understand
treated
people who
differently,
operate from
both
a
before
place
and after
of
weight loss. So having been,
intentional ill will.
because at one point you were,
You
girl,
know,
you
but
were
at the
like
same time,
very
Skinny?
you
skinny.
are not
Yeah, you can
only
say
the
I was
person
skinny.
you are
My head was too
responsible
big for my
for,
body.
especially now when I am 38 years old, is
Yeah, like
you.
there's one particular
Me,
picture,
I'm
and I
responsible
remember
for
a
me
friend of
and
mine
two
thinking
small
it was a
humans.
compliment, saying, "You look like a rail," like as if it was a compliment.
Actually,
I
no.
often have told people I've lost
Because
lost and
he's
gained 100 pounds more than
okay, so
once. I
everyone
mean,
who
I
comes on my
fluctuated
podcast, you're not
all
gonna have to do it every
through
time.
my
But everyone
youth
who comes on my
and
podcast, I
teenage
have a short
years, and I played
questionnaire. It's
softball,
quirky, it's
and
fun.
so like I tried to
Don't
stay
overthink it.
active or whatever. And
Try
like I
not to
remember being on
overthink
Weight
it.
Watchers again when I was like a senior in high school, and I lost like probably
What do
50
you got?
pounds
You look
and
so
felt really
freaky
good.
out
And then I
there.
went to college
No.
and gained it back, and then a couple years
What
later I
is
had my
a
daughter, and like
taste,
then I was like, okay, I'm
sound,
gonna
or
lose it once and for
smell,
all. And that's
one
when
of
I
the
lost
above,
like the most
that
weight, and that's when I
instantly
got to
brings
this
you joy?
place of like,
I
and
actually think we'll try.
nobody like, I mean, I shouldn't say nobody
I
because
love
people
that.
did. Like people were like, oh, you're gonna lose
I
more
love
weight
that.
or whatever. And like there was a point
Um,
where like defense
I can
was,
agree to
you
that.
didn't tell me when I
What
was,
is your favorite
fat.
word?
You didn't that I was too fat, but you want to tell me I'm too skinny. Like let me be me. And
Did that feel like it was never
My
enough?
favorite
yes,
word.
yeah. I felt like it was always a
No,
topic
really,
of
it
conversation.
really
I
does.
still feel like there's certain people in my life that cannot be around me
I
without justifying what they're eating,
did. I peed my
telling me
pants
what
at
diet
Walgreens
they're
that
on.
day.
There's like a few specific people that I'm like, can you talk to me about anything else? And maybe it's just them, but I always felt like people
You didn't have
around
to
me
walk
at that
home
time,
and pee on
especially,
your
were like, don't judge me
pants.
for what I eat. And I'm like, I'm not.
What's your favorite word?
I'm not.
But yeah, I mean, the world treats you differently, I feel, just moving through the world.
Yeah.
How men respond to you,
It's
know,
one
is different.
word.
How I
It's
respond to
just
myself
word.
was
And it's
different,
just a
right? So,
word.
like, everything, I'm
It is
walking with a
just a word.
different strut in my
What is
walk.
something you want to be
And
remembered
So tell me
for?
about your relationship with your body now. How do you
Kindness.
move through the world? Do you
Aliens,
think about your
absolutely
body
or
as
absolutely
often?
not?
Do you think about what you're eating?
yes. So,
Thank you, Mommy. This is a very good
um,
conversation.
okay,
Thank you.
so
Did you
going back
enjoy
a couple
it?
years,
Yeah, it was
I had
fun.
gained so
Are
much
you willing
weight,
to do it
and
again?
I weighed myself constantly. So it's not like I didn't know that I was gaining weight. We'll go back to like how I got too skinny, where I was mentally, because I ended up, gaining weight after that, had another baby and whatever. But there was something weird.